Hey everyone, this is Holly from MeriSwede. This is episode 6. So today I'm going to talk about my Swedish learning journey, and I'm going to talk about why I'm learning Swedish, when I started to learn Swedish, and how I'm doing this Swedish learning. What you may or may not know is that I actually have 25% Swedish heritage, and that came from my mormor. She had 100% Swedish heritage because all 4 of her grandparents immigrated to the USA from Sweden. My mormor's grandparents all immigrated from Sweden to Illinois and mostly to the Moline area. There was a huge Swedish community in that area. And so my mormor, while I was growing up, she would teach me a few words that she learned from her mother and grandparents and so on. And she taught me words like tack, tack så mycket, varsågod, hur mår du idag, and so on. And she also said ufta, which I don't know if is particularly Swedish, but I heard that it's more Norwegian. But you guys can tell me if you know. My mom even has some memories when she was little, like 5 years old or less, of her great grandma Anna Anderson, and she was from Sweden. My mother remembers her speaking Swedish, and that's always stuck with her. My grandma actually took a trip to Sweden and was able to meet some of her relatives over there that we kind of lost track of, and she uncovered a little bit of that past for us. So when I went over to Sweden with my husband, I was able to meet one of our relatives over there. I had already started my Swedish learning journey quite a long time ago, even though it wasn't very much. But it started to pick up rampantly again when I met my husband in 2014. When I met my husband, I wanted to become fluent so I could talk to him and his family. And not only that, but someday if we have children, I'd like to become fluent so that I can help them know Swedish as well and speak Swedish with them, and so that they can pass Swedish down to their children and so on. I just think it's really important since their father would be 100% Swedish, and to carry that culture with them and a language, I think that's really important. There's a few ways I'm doing this Swedish learning. I have many books that I read. I have a Swedish dictionary from my grandma. There's been a couple books that have been helpful to me. The first one is Complete Swedish from the Teach Yourself line, and it's by Dr. Anneli Boronius Hacke. And the other one is Short Stories for Beginners, Swedish, by Ollie Richards. These are 2 books that I find helpful. In the future, I'll probably find a book that's in Swedish and also in English, 2 different books, Swedish and English, and then use them to learn that way as well, by reading the Swedish first and then the English and then so on, or vice versa. And I watch Swedish movies and TV shows. I watch videos online, and I put the Swedish subtitles on sometimes so that I can pick up words. And if I can't pick up words, then I can at least know which word that is. I can look it up that way. There's a few places where you can find Swedish movies and TV shows. For instance, on Tubi, which is a free app that you can use to see free movies. In that one, you can watch The 100-Year-Old Man Who Climbed Out the Window and Disappeared. And you can also watch A Man Called Ove. A Man Called Ove is also on Amazon Prime Video. And on Netflix, you can watch Off Track, which is a pretty funny movie about cross-country skiing, and Quicksand, which is a TV show. On YouTube, you can watch Old for Sverige, Soon as Jul. I'm currently watching Soon as Jul. It's like an advent where you watch one a day until Christmas Eve. Christmas Eve is the last episode. And on SVT Play, you can watch Leif and Billy. It's a little bit of a comedy show. And we have a personal stash of DVDs from Sweden. For instance, we have Stig Helmer movies like Snow Roller and so on. And I also listen to a lot of Swedish songs on Spotify. As for some Swedish artists that I listen to, I of course listen to ABBA, Curtin Roland, Mando Diao, Viking Arna, Lena Andersson, Anna-Lena Löfgren, and Pelle Karlsson. These are just a few of the many artists that I listen to and their Swedish songs. I actually created a Swedish song playlist on Spotify. Listening to them really helps pick out new words that I didn't know before and to really get a feel for Swedish. Also, I do Duolingo every day. It's not like a one and done type of deal, but it's helpful, I think, especially for the pronunciation. Last but not least, it's really helpful to have a native Swedish person as your husband when you're trying to learn Swedish. He's able to help me with my pronunciation and tell me if I'm saying things right or not, and I can ask him questions, and it's quite nice to be able to ask those questions right away rather than asking them online to some strangers or whatnot. I just have my own personal teacher, I guess you could say. Så jag måste säga tack så mycket, älskling. As for my skills right now, I would say that my speaking skills are pretty conversational, that I could hold a conversation with a native Swedish person. And my listening skills are, I would say, are much better than my speaking skills. And my writing skills are probably a little lacking, but they're not horrible. But my spelling and grammar is probably a little bit bad. And I was hoping to be at a fluent level by now. It's been almost 10 years since I really started learning Swedish. But I am proud of myself in the same way because there are Americans out there who are married to Swedes and they don't want to learn the language at all. So I am proud of myself that I'm at least trying. And even though I'm not the level that I wanted to be at, I am happy with what I've done so far. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you all have a great day. If you have any questions, please reach out to us at either our Instagram account or our YouTube channel. Our Instagram account is called MeriSwede_podcast. That is spelled MERISWEDE_PODCAST. And our YouTube channel is called MeriSwede. MERISWEDE. Thank you all. Have a great day. Hej då. Vi ses senare. Hej hej.